In this video, I'm going to react to 10 guilty convicts reacting to life sentences. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now this here is gonna be, I've been reacting to quite a few of these and they are always just jaw-dropping for me. First of all, to commit such horrible, heinous crimes, and then to have the rest of your life taken away from you. You're gonna spend the rest of your life behind bars. Just an absolutely horrifying prospect. And it's just, I can't imagine the emotions these convicts must go through when they hear those words, life in prison, often without the possibility of parole. There's no chance you're getting out. Man, absolutely scary. So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to 10 guilty convicts reacting to life sentences. Let's do it.
Everything in today's video is very serious, and this is an informational video to share to the audience what not to do, because you can be punished like these convicts are for the rest of their lives. First, we have a boy who was sentenced to life in prison. He was in courtroom for 3 hours, and tons of tears were rolling down his face as he's in the courtroom. There's no excuse for what he did, and now he's just getting what he deserves.
Antonio Barbeau will be eligible for parole on his 50th birthday.
Tom Murray was in court today for the sentencing.
This teenager cried several times during his 3 hour.
Eligible for parole on his 50th birthday. And he looked like 17 to me. Jeez, man.
Our sentencing proceeding. Antonio Barbeau will be eligible for parole on his 50th birthday, but that's by no means a guarantee he'll ever get out of prison. Instead of starting his freshman year in high school, 14-year-old Antonio Barbeau will go to prison. He showed varying emotions in court, at times wiping tears from his face. Then Barbeau smirked and shook his head when the prosecutor spoke. He read only a few words.
Yeah, I recognize this guy. You smirked. There's nothing funny about your situation. I know that you might be doing it, perhaps involuntarily, but dude, control your facial expressions. You're in court. Your future's on the line.
Words from his own statement.
There's a lot going around said by the news, DA, and many other people that I'm a cold, heartless, careless killer. And that's not true.
Barbeau pled no contest and was convicted of.
Once again, another boy crying, wishing he wouldn't have done what.
No contest. Does that mean that you're pleading guilty? I think so, right? You're not contesting the accusations.
What he did. Listening to the mother of the victim speak, he now gets a chance to speak on what he's done after being sentenced to life in prison. Let's hear what this boy has to say.
He is a coward, and forgiveness is not an option for me.
After everyone had their chance to speak in this Wapello County courtroom, it was Dustin Armstrong's chance to say something about what he'd done.
Do you have anything you wish to say to me prior to my announcing what I'm going to do here today, sir?
No, Your Honor. Being betrayed by the man I was with for nearly 3 years brought me into the deepest pain I've ever known.
When Judge Joel Yates gave the guilty sentencing, Armstrong lost control of his emotions, dropped his head into his hands and cried.
And you'll have plenty of time in the Iowa penal system to think about what you've done to this defenseless child.
Tears were shed throughout the courtroom, some of joy as justice.
Don't tell me he did something to the child. For me, worst of the worst, scummiest of the scum.
Was served, others of pain as Sue Adler watches her son leave for prison.
We now have a convict who gets sentenced to life in prison, and he has a lot of police officers behind him in case something crazy goes on. We'll see how he reacts and what the others have to say.
Junior before sentencing.
I'm sorry for what happened, Your Honor, but he's life in prison. And I'm not a bad person, but I made mistakes. some gangbanger that she tried to portray me as.
During sentencing, Spencer completely broke down.
The minimum period of parole eligibility is 15 years plus 25 years of life in accordance with Penal Code Section 12022, 3D. This is to be concurrent with the principal term.
Now, with more security, do students feel safer?
I definitely do feel safe, especially since like after 19.
What did he do? I need to look into it. Or anyone who's familiar with what he did, let me know in the comment section.
You have to show your ID and everything.
And I wasn't here to witness. I'm just a freshman, but I don't know, I've never felt unsafe here.
I feel very safe. I've actually been here on campus. This is my 34th year.
We're getting a pattern of kids crying over the crimes that they've done and pleading for remorse to the victim's family. He's not getting anything back. His tears seem to be real, but then again, maybe he's just doing it to try to plead for his life.
Yeah, I remember this guy as well. Like, I think he said that he said all he had to do was cry and they'd believe him. Some people are just so callous.
Instead, this doesn't work and he receives the life sentencing.
You just can't accept that because you know me. You've known me for 5 years. I never would have wanted to hurt Austin. I never wanted Austin. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I didn't go for help. I wanted to be able to handle it. I wanted to
Excuses, excuses, excuses. You still did what you did.
be everything that my father wasn't to me, and everything my stepfather was to me. I don't have a good family life. I haven't my whole life.
Yeah, whatever. You still...
Most of my family has abandoned me. I made a stupid choice a couple of years ago.
The thing is, plenty of people out there have had similar upbringings to what you've had, but they don't go around killing people. Like, give me a break.
I ruined half my family. The other half haven't been supportive. But I do want to thank them for being here today. I know their family isn't here. Thank you guys for being here.
This man, Smith Riley, is being sentenced to life in prison without parole. He will be spending the rest of his life in prison. When he hears his sentencing, you'll just see how he reacts.
Smith Riley, he became very emotional, even collapsing at one point. But the families of those victims tell us this is way too little, too late.
Four defendants serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4.
Did you see his face? Did you see his face?
Four defendants serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4 for the
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh.
Defense.
This reaction from a confessed was the last in a series of intense moments in this Hamilton County courtroom, and exactly what the victims' families asked for.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
With his request to withdraw his guilty plea denied and death penalty off the table, the families of Portia Brooks and Aaron Martin pleaded with Judge Charles Kubicki to hand down the maximum sentence. Smith Riley's family begged for a shorter one. With no criminal record outside of that night, they believed he had the capacity to be rehabilitated.
When this boy finds out what his sentencing was, he literally just can't believe it. He looks around the room and he's about to break down, and then literally goes to the floor. There's a saying that if you don't want to do the time, don't commit the crime.
Exactly.
In this case, they're going to do the rest of their life.
Hold on, I feel like this is a meme. This is the bruh meme, I think.
Crime. In this case, they're going to do the rest of their life.
Minimum on count 1 of that. As to count 2 in that case, felonious assault, a felony of the 2nd degree, it is ordered that the defendant shall serve a term of 2 years in prison on that count. As to count 3 of that case, the robbery, which is also a felony of the 2nd degree, the court orders that the defendant shall serve a term of 2 years on that count as well.
Orders that the defendant shall serve a term of 2 years on that count as well.
Next, we have a man who used to be a police officer. This guy has done some very bad things. He has over 5 charges being held against him. This goes to show that even a police officer can make huge mistakes and cost them life in prison.
Wow.
Not all officers are bad though.
Years. Count 2. Not guilty of the crime of...
Yeah, I think they blanked out the crimes so that the video, I think, yeah. You can probably guess why.
Count 3. Burglary in the first degree. Defendant is not guilty of the crime of burglary in the first degree, nor lesser included. Count 4. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring. Punishment is set at 5 years. Count 5.
He's done. He's done.
Defendant is guilty of the crime. 31. By instrumentation. Defendant is guilty of the crime of, and punishment is set at 12 years. Woo. Count 32.
By my count, he's looking at 25 years so far, something like that.
Defendant is guilty. Mr. Holtzclaw, this jury finds you guilty of the various counts. You will be remanded to the custody of the Oklahoma County Sheriff for formal sentencing set January 21st, 2016 at 10 o'clock a.m. All right, you have a seat. The custody of the sheriff. You're excused.
Man. So that guy, he's going to jail to await sentencing, or does he get to go home if he can make bail? Is that how it goes?
A man or a boy who is getting sentenced to life in prison. He was just a high school student who had something against his teacher and took his anger out on her, and now is sentenced to life in prison.
On indictment number 2013-1446001, the jury, having returned a verdict of guilty of murder in the first degree on deliberate premeditation and extreme atrocity and cruelty, you will hearken to the sentence the court has awarded against you. The court, having duly considered your offenses, it is hereby ordered that you be committed to the Department of Youth Services until the age of 21, and furthermore committed to the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Cedar Junction for the period of not less than 25 years and not more than life. And that you stand committed in
25 to life.
Execution of this.
Well, you guys, if you learned something in today's video, go down below.
Whew. Man, just devastating. I mean, it's just, you know, the things human beings are capable of doing to each other, just horrifying, terrifying. And, you know, some of these people, you know, life sentences, you know, they're going to just go in there and potentially become even worse criminals. Very, very scary stuff, man. You just got to hope that you never cross paths with people like that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.